Ow, that's hot. Hey guys, it's Cindy with Technique Tuesday Live. I'm a little early. I'm trying to figure out the lighting. So I thought, I hope that's okay. I can't really tell from my standpoint of view how the lighting looks, but I hope y'all can see. I got my do not disturb on so nobody can bother us. And I'm just going to play around for a minute until there's somebody here. Hey Teresa, you're ready. So I had used some of the butterflies that we made last time with the gilding stuff. I was going to use them for tonight, and I've used several of them, so I'm like running out. So I was fixing to finish another one real quickly here before we got started, so that I would have one to put on the project that we're doing tonight, because I used all the other ones because I love them. They are so pretty, and this is so fun. And this is one of the techniques, or one of the products that we're going to practice with and play with at retreat, at the mini spring fling retreat, Teresa. So I'm glad you're going to get to be there and see that. Now I'm sitting here making a huge mess, and I just got my nails redone. I hope that I don't get messed up with this gold stuff, as long as I don't get glue on them, or I'll just be glittery glue. Hey y'all. Hey Linda. I can see your little icons because I'm standing up. Oh, that actually worked out good. I took the piece of watercolor paper that we had watercolored and just put a dab of glue on it and just smudged it in. And now I'm adding that gilding stuff to it. Gilding flakes, I guess. Gild leafing. I don't know exactly what to call it. Now I'm trying to get it all off of me and get the lid back on before anybody breathes, because if you just breathe into that, it'll make a huge mess. So hey Opal, hey Geneva, glad to see you. So I was just saying that this gilding product that I'm using, that I will use, is one of the classes that we're going to be doing at the Spring Fling Retreat, which is just a mini retreat that's happening not this coming weekend, but the next weekend, the 19th and 20th. It's Friday night, and then you go home, spend the night in your own bed, and then come back Saturday morning, and we'll have 4 classes. So I don't have a really big group yet, so if anybody is interested, the next couple days I really would need to know that, so I can get prepared. Anyway, tonight we're going to make the most fabulous card. I am so excited about it, y'all. I really am. Using some of the products that the pieces that we made the last couple weeks. You remember, this was the card I showed you last week.
Pamela wants to know, where is it?
Pamela, it's at Mama's house, here in Prattville. Last week, I showed y'all this card that I had made with some of the pieces and parts that we did from the gilding. And then this piece here, vellum, was that we did the ink blending with our blends and alcohol. And then I did the gilding on these pieces and cut out. So that was that card. I never finished the inside of it. But the one we're making tonight is by far one of the funnest. And I love it. I absolutely love it.
Didn't work for her.
Huh?
Kimberly said the link didn't work for her.
Oh, I'm sorry. So, all right. So here's the card we're making. It's called a, what's it called? Inside pop-up card. All right, you ready? So there's first I'm going to show you, there's our butterfly, one of our butterflies. The hydrangea, I don't know if you can tell, is cut from the piece of cardstock that we took the shimmer paint and kind of made it look pearlized, and up close it does look pearlized. And then you open it up like this, and voila, and it pops out at you. So if it's sitting up like this, you can see from the top it really does pop out. But laying down doesn't look as much. And then here's another one of our butterflies. Here's one of the vellum cutouts from our vellum paper we made. And then this is a butterfly is cut out of the pearlized on the bottom, and I cut out a layer of the vellum on top. And that's from the new Butterfly Brilliant set. And then this DSP behind here is from the Butterfly Boo. Let's see, I said it wrong last time. It's Bijou maybe. I think it's Bizhoo is the pronunciation, not the correct spelling. Bijou. Anyway, so that's the card we're going to make tonight. Has anybody made one of these inside banner pop-up cards? They really are quite easy to make. It's just a lot of pieces and a lot of layering. So y'all have to bear with me. It may take a while. Anyway, thanks for coming. The pieces we're using tonight are going to be Misty Moonlight, and it's 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. And then I have another piece. It's about a 1 1/2, 1 3/4. I think it's not really, doesn't really matter about this one. It can't be bigger than your cutout squares that you're going to put on it. You want it to be substantial, but it doesn't have to be an exact size. I have 2 pieces of DSP that I cut from the Hydrangea Hill paper. And hydrangeas, you know, I've told y'all over and over, one of my favorite flowers. My grandmother always had the big blue moppy head hydrangeas around her home. Wherever she lived, in Bogalusa, in Tioga, wherever she lived, she had big blue mop head hydrangeas and mint. And those are some of the most wonderful memories and smells for me. When I smell mint, I think of my grandmother's back door. But so I'm using the blue for this one. I'm going to do another one with the pink because we did some of the pink paper. You remember we did the pearlized pink also.
Linda, I want to know if you're going to be gilding at Barnell.
Linda, we can play with the gilding at Barnell if you want to. And then I don't have a specific class planned for Barnell yet. I am going to do a class. I just haven't planned one yet. Then this piece is just a layer to go on top, and it's 5 1/4 by 4, and I ran it through the embossing folder, the floral art embossing folder, and I stamped it before with some of the swooshes in the hydrangea set, so I'll show you that. I just went ahead and did that so that we could kind of hurry along because I don't want to take all night. So that's those pieces. Let's see, what else do we have? We have 4 squares. We're supposed to have 4 squares. I'm only counting 3. So the 4th one is missing somewhere along the way. It's here somewhere. Oh, there it is. It's just stuck. There we go. All right, so 4 squares. These are the largest square in the stitched shapes squares. So I love the stitched shapes. I use that a lot. So it's got the circles, the ovals, and the squares. And you've got 4 different sizes. You got the largest, I kind of like daddy square, mama square, junior square, and baby square. So Tommy's over going, baby shark. Anyway, we got 4 of those. Now, in the card I just showed you, those were all 4 the same color. And this one I decided to mix and match. I think I'm going to do, you know, like that. And then you have 4 white ones, and that's just the neck. So that if that's daddy, this is mama. So this is just the next square down. And it is a nice border around it. So we got those pieces already cut. And I already cut, I don't know if y'all can see these little flowers up here, but I'll show you those in a minute. I already cut some of the stuff out so we wouldn't have to stop and do the big shot. Let me show you how to put together the mechanism for this card first. So the easiest way, we could score it, and you know, but scoring doesn't always for me come out exactly the way I want it to, even though I think I've scored it exactly using the correct measurements. This works every time. So we're just going to fold it in half, line up your ends, make sure you've got it in half. Now, I'm going to have surgery on my cataract. It's already had the eye surgery. I got to have another procedure on it soon, hopefully. Well, won't be too soon because I need it already, but I don't have an appointment till April. All right, so you want to fold that in half. That would make it a whole lot easier if I could see what I was doing out of my right eye. I got this new little caddy I've set here on my desk that I love. It's really for silverware, and I really got it for silverware. But I can stick stuff in it, so I've got it with all my little tools in it. All right, so we're going to burnish that. And then we're going to take this end here, open it up, and fold it into the middle, like that. And burnish that one. And then I'm going to do the same on this one. Right into the middle, and burnish that one. All right, so that way I know that my pieces are exactly how I need them to be without just, if I go to the scoreboard, I could get them correct, and I may be off a little bit for some reason, and it wouldn't work because I need that to line up. Now, it makes a W. You see that W? All right, so that's what we want is the W. All right. So this is going to go on the inside of our card, and that's what makes the pop-up banner. So let's take our layer here, or our card base, and start layering. I'm putting this piece on top, and I'm just going to be using mostly Tombow because that's kind of my go-to lately, just because if it's working, it's faster. I can just do this in a hurry. And you just want to get a thin bead. Don't use a lot. Put my shot glass over here. And so you don't want it squishing out all over the place, but you want enough to hold it, to get all the edges held good anyway. And then give a nice press. One of the demonstrators says turn it over and give it a back rub. I don't remember who says that. It might be Connie Stewart. I don't remember. Somebody says that. All right. Then we're going to open it up and take these two layers, which were either DSP layers. Look at the back of that. Isn't that gorgeous? But that made me think of like Nana's wallpaper on her bathroom or something. So it really did. I wallpapered my Nana's bathroom in her last house before she passed away, and it made me think of that wallpaper. All right, so I'm going to take that one, and I'll just lay it here. Now remember, this is on the inside. This is not on the outside. We've already done the outside of our card. And layer it there. And you could use either side. I just felt like the card's a little busy, so it didn't need this busy a print. It needed a little bit of a subtle print. And you wouldn't have to even put DSP on the inside. I just thought I liked the way it looked. So that's why it's there. So I hope everybody's having a good day. Taking care of yourselves. Okay, so there. Simple. Has anybody ever made one of these before? All right, so now we're going to take our mechanism. We want it in the W, like I said. So here's the W. Can y'all see? Am I in camera? My assistant hadn't told me I'm out, so I assume I am. All right, I'm going to put adhesive on just one side of this back panel here. Cover it good. All right, now I'm going to center this, and I know this is not the piece I have adhesive on. I want this, and I didn't pay attention to the last one, so I want it off of the edge of my DSP just a little bit so that I can see just a tad bit of the DSP, okay? So I'm going to put that there like that, and I'm kind of centering it top to bottom and make sure it's straight like that. It looks pretty good. I don't get glue all over my fingers. Then I'm going to take this piece and I'm just going to flatten it down just like that. Give it a good rub. All right, and now I'm going to turn it over. Pick it up. Hopefully I got that in the right spot. And with glue, you know, we need to give it just a minute, a few seconds, not really a minute, to make sure it adheres good. The one thing I love about glue is that you can kind of move things around. When you stick it down at first, you know, you've got a few seconds to kind of adjust if you need to. But then once it's down and it's attached, then it's down. It's not coming back up. So I like that about the glue. All right, good back rub here. And let that hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let it hold good. All right, so that's the inside of our card. So that part, the putting together this card is really simple. It's the whole decorating process. It's hard. Or not hard, but time consuming. So let me move this out of the way. Debbie Whitman would laugh at me for saying it was hard. I didn't really mean it was hard, Debbie. All right, I have the Stamparatus here set up, and I'm going to use it for my hydrangea because I'm going to stamp several different stamps. This is a two-step stamping. Got it stuck together. This is a two-step stamping stamp because you stamp an outline and then you stamp in the inside of it. So that's why it's called two-step. How's that for camera, Tombow?
That needs to go that way.
What? I need to go over this way?
Yes.
Is that better? Ah, never do that, y'all. Ow! That really does hurt your fingers. All right, let me make sure I got my paper. Glue everywhere. Y'all wouldn't believe the mess I have around me. Well, some of you would. Some of you have been here and seen my mess. Come down just a little bit more. All right, so I'm going to put that there, and I think I can put that there to hold it in place. Yes, we're good. I looked for my, what did I look for? My Stampin' Spot. I have a Misty Stampin' Spot. If y'all know, it just came in a recent paper pumpkin. And I love my stamping, not a Misty one, a paper pumpkin. That one's what I meant. Oh, Misty Moonlight paper pumpkin. That's what I meant. Anyway, I'm just stamping the head on the hydrangea, not the leaves. And this is in a Seaside Spray. So we're gonna, and it doesn't really matter how dark this is. It's just really kind of an outline because we're going to be covering it. But just so when we cover it, it's not just white underneath is why I did that. All right, and I'm going to close that one up. And I am going to bring in my Old Olive ink spot, but I forgot to open this as a new one because my other one I took on a trip and I had re-inked it recently. I had re-inked it right before we left, and then I had it upside down in a case in my suitcase. I'm so thankful I had it in a case because that thing, the whole lid is totally covered in green. Like all this is green, all this is green, all this is green. You can't see anything but green. All right, so let's see. We're over here still. And I'm kind of working awkward here a little bit just because of where the camera is, but y'all bear with me. Oh, I gotta.
Actually working off camera.
I'm off camera. Tommy tells me I'm off camera now. All right, I'm just inking up. Oh, I got a piece of string in there. All right, the stem with the green Old Olive. Excuse me, it's not green, it's Old Olive. All right, so that gives us our outline. And now I'm going to flip this one around because I have my other stamp mounted. Oop, that's dry. Let me get the wet one. Here we go. We'll clean this because y'all know exactly what would happen if I don't clean this. I will have it all over me. So anybody been creating lately, making anything pretty? Or making anything not pretty? No, we wouldn't do that. All right, so this piece, before I do it, this little swatchy piece, the circle, it doesn't exactly fit here. It's just kind of a water color. So it makes it look like a water, like you did a watercolor. So it's supposed to be kind of light and out of lines. It's not in the lines. It doesn't fit exactly. Part of that's not going to matter because of two reasons. We're covering it, number one, and number two, you're cutting it out. So, but there is kind of a little indent right here, and there's a little, it comes out, comes down. That's kind of how I figure where it goes. And I'm not getting really upset about this if I don't get total coverage. I could have stamped off once first, but I didn't. But you see it's kind of splotchy. But that's okay because I'm cutting this out, so it won't matter. Now we're going to do the leaf. And let me make sure. I don't know that it was in the right place. The last time I did it, it didn't look like it showed up right. You know how to do this with the Stamparatus, right? You just line it up with your on your paper like that. And then you take this and pick it up. And that's how you do that. All right, now we're going to ink that one up in Old Olive again. So we're using the same color just on top of each other.
Tina says she stamped with her mom today.
Who?
Tina.
Oh. Did y'all have a good time, Tina? I enjoyed talking to you this week. All right, there we go. So see, that came out really pretty good. Actually, it came out better than the last one I did. So we're going to cut this out with the Stamparatus, with the Candy M, and we're through with it. Let me clean it off though, because you know you need to keep your stamps clean. My daddy used to say, "Take care of your tools will take care of you." That was his favorite saying. I think that was just to keep us cleaning his stuff. All right, so that's all clean. These aren't as bad as if it was red and it would really stain. All right, so here is our cutout version. Isn't that remarkable how fast I did that? And it doesn't even look the same, does it? I've already added the outline for the hydrangea. So let me show you the pieces from this set, because there are a ton of pieces. This has like 23 stamps, I think, in the stamp set. It's got a ton, 22. And then the framelits is another 9. All right, so this little cool thing right here cuts out a whole row of 9 little flowers. So I've already cut those out. And if you can, some of them are coming apart. You remember we took a piece of that. Do you see that scrap, Tommy, that was up here that has all these pieces cut out of it? We took a piece of vellum that we had attached to another piece of, Seaside Spray. Here, no, that's not it. And and we glued them together. Well, some of them are coming apart because if it wasn't glued in that spot, it's not sticking. But anyway, I cut these flowers out of that. So I've got some that are just vellum and some that are vellum stuck to Seaside Spray. So I got 9 or 10. I mean, I cut out several of those. So I have a whole pile of those just because I figured, you know, I would need more than just 9. But 9's kind of the perfect number if you're just using them for one part of the card. So that's what that does. This little die right here we use to cut out this piece. And this is our pearlized paper. And as you can, I hope y'all can see, it's really shiny and looks pearlescent. And it's really pretty. So, and I took the stylus or a pokey tool. You can use either one. Turn it over from the back and you can see where the petals are cut. They're not cut all the way through, but if you take that and put it on, especially if you put it on a piece of foam or something, you can push through those. I think I used this small end. Or you can use your pokey tool, but I was afraid I would poke too much with it. But you can poke those up like that. And if you're just adhering this to your card, you really want to do that because it gives it all that dimension. But if you're putting anything on top of it, you wouldn't really need to do that. So that's what that piece does. This cuts out the whole image, which was this image here. And then obviously you got your stems that just go on top. You've got 2 labels. And then these 2 little pieces, there's 2 other stamps in this case. This one here and this one here. And those pieces cut out those 2 images, and then the little leaves cut out this leaf. You remember when you see stamps on the front of a photopolymer set that they're larger than this. This is at about 75%, I think. Yeah, images at 75%. And this is 2-step stamping. All right. So this swoosh is really good. Like if you just want to fill in, you know, just like a swoosh over this or over that. This one fits that one really well. And this one can kind of be used for that one. And then obviously those work together. And then you have quite a few sayings in this set too. So it's a really nice set. All right, so I'm going to get that out of the way. And I have already cut well, let's do the front before we do the inside. So this is the piece we're going to start with. I've already layered that. And then we're going to add this on top of here. And like I said, there's no real fit. Well, this one should fit like perfectly because we cut them out. But I don't really, as long as I don't have anything really big hanging out, it doesn't really matter. I want to make sure this is covered over here where the white is. I usually find it pretty quickly because that usually lines up right there, but I'm having trouble tonight. But anyway, that's going to go over there like that. And I'm just going to use Tombow. I could put glue dots behind it or but this is just the easiest. And I am trying to watch some of those petals, kind of put it in places where the petals aren't popping up so that I don't lose that dimension. Though I am putting petals on top, so it's not going to really matter that much. All right, let's see. We have 2 little thingies coming out right there. Let's see if that... here I go again, trying to figure it out. There we go. That's good enough. All right, so just adhere that to that. All right, so that's pretty in itself. And we could just leave that, come back with maybe your pokey tool, your paper piercer. And I just love all the little words we come up with. All right. And just kind of lift those up a little bit if you wanted to just do that. But I wouldn't spend a lot of time doing that on this card because I'm fixing to glue some of these flowers on top of there. So I'm going to take all of these. Now you could do this 1 or 2 ways. We can do it with glue, which is going to be fast, or you could do it with glue dots, which would take us a little more time to do. I had my glue dots up here. I was using them. There they are. So this is how I do it sometimes though, just for ease. I mean, this really makes it go fast. So I just go along and stick these on here. One problem though is these are, that one's just a vellum one. I can't do it on that one. Are a little bit smaller. That glue dot's a little bit bigger than it, but it's not really going to matter because they're all going to be on top of each other kind of. So you can do that. That's one method, or you can put glue on the back of them. So we're just going to take these now and start, oops, get it on there. Just kind of layering them on top. Yeah, that one doesn't want to go on at all. He's being ornery. That's why it's a man, because he's being ornery. Look at that. Did y'all know it was International Women's Month? How could you not know? It's been all over the news. I'd never heard of that before until recently. But March 8th was actually International Women's Day. And March itself is International Women's Month. So I didn't know that. All right, I'm going to use my glue because I can just do it faster. So what I'm going to do is just put down some dots like there and there. Put one over here. Put one over here. And then I can use the other end of my pickup tool and just lay them there like that. And if the glue squishes out, which you might be able to see a little bit squishing out, it's going to dry clear, so it really isn't going to matter if I get a little extra glue on there. So I would put at least probably all 9 of them on there. I don't know how many I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll have to put at least 7. 6. Let's see, we'll just do one more. Maybe right up here. Did I get any glue on it? All right, and these are the ones that are left are just the vellum, or the, because I did cut a whole 9 of them, a whole die of them of just vellum. That one's a little harder to stick. There you go. All right, so there's that piece. We'll move those out of our way. And this is going to go on the front of our card. Where's our card? There we go. And I did put that up on dimensionals. So to put it on dimensionals, what I did was I used the mini dimensionals. Now this is big ones. I'm going to use it for the mop head here. And you want a good bit of dimensionals because you want it to not to flatten down. This is not a card I would probably plan on mailing to somebody. That would be one I would like to hand deliver for a couple reasons. One, because I'd like to see their face when I give it to them. I think it's such a pretty card. And the other is it'd probably get smushed pretty badly in the postal service. It would not more than likely fit in a regular envelope, but now these are the black ones, but it's just because that's what's right here on my desk and doesn't really matter. I'm not sure why we have black and white dimensionals. I don't know that it really matters, but I use them interchangeably. I guess I wouldn't use them on a totally put them behind vellum or something, but unless I just wanted them to show through as an element. All right, so we just need to take the, I can do that pretty much better with my fingers. Make more of a mess, but take all this off. Oops. You know what I forgot to cut out was that, I don't think I cut out that little piece, the little label. The little, I thought I did, the little label to stamp on. Alright, so we're just going to take this and I'm going to put it like right there on that card. Alrighty, now let's see. Did I cut out the label? I thought I did, but you know what? I don't see it. Which, typical for me. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put the vellum ones behind it. No, I'm just really not thinking here. Alright, so these were supposed to go behind there. But since I forgot them, what I'm going to do is cut one in half. I'm just going to cut that sucker in half. Like that. This is the way you make up for your mistakes. And then I'm just going to do it like, kind of like that. Let's see. I really don't know that I can, there we go. Put it there like that. So you've got just like you've got more than one. I meant to put these two behind there. And I did do, when I put them behind it, the other one, I did it with, I just glued them down because I was going to cover them up with the this piece, so it didn't really matter. I'm just cutting. This is really It's what you really call doing doctoring to make it fit. Since I've got dimensionals there, there we go. So it's not going to look like you've got 3 different mop heads, but at least it'll have some dimension behind it. Everything we do on a card is, you know, usually adding either dimension or color or, ooh, I got to be really careful that I get that up under there right, or I'm going to have glue everywhere. There we go. Pretty good. Got a little bit extra there. And then I'm going to get this piece out. Oh, there we go. And put that up under there like that. There we go. All right. Cooking now. All right. So it doesn't look that much different. It looks a little different, but... Okay, so now what do we need? We need our butterfly and our saying. And I really did think I had cut that out, but I am not seeing it. So let me grab a little piece of white cardstock. Let's see. If I have something here, except it's going to be in Poppy Parade, and I really don't want to put Poppy Parade on this card. So I used the For You and the little label that comes in here. Let me grab it. A piece of white cardstock. And I'll get Tombo to cut it out with the Candy M for us. He's good at doing things like that. I am so blessed to have a helper that actually knows how to use the Big Shot. Cooper tried to help me today, but yeah, he might need a little more practice with the Big Shot. Oh, it wasn't supposed to be for love. It's supposed to be for you. All right. Flip that over. Just got my finger in the ink. All right, there we go. All right, honey, if you could cut that one out. And we have a magic carpet, so we're having to be really careful around here, because when things fall on our carpet, it disappears. I mean, it literally just disappears into thin air.
Like that?
So, no, it's going to go this way.
Like this?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. All right, so now we've got this much of our card put together. We're going to add a butterfly, and I was going to add this big pink butterfly up here. But it's really big. It was one of the larger ones, but it'll fit right there. So I'm just going to put glue dots behind it. I don't really want to pop it up because it's already, this card's got enough dimension on it, and I don't want to add more. So just a glue dot or two, since this one's kind of big. If you have trouble with your glue dots, I don't know if y'all can see me. If they're too big, just roll it. Use your pointy tool, or your finger works, but just roll it like that, and it makes it smaller. And then you can stick it in a smaller spot. All right, thanks. Let me get this up here on the card so it's not hanging off, so it'll fit in our envelope. There you go. So it was a little bit bigger butterfly, but I wanted to use ones we already had made. All right, Tombo cut our For You for me out of using the Big Shot, and we're using the linen thread to attach it. So to make it really easier than trying to tie a bow right here, what I did was I just took a little piece of the linen thread. Scissors are here somewhere. We really don't need much. Like that. And I put it underneath here.
Cassie finally found it.
Well, hey, Cassie. Glad to see you. I hope you've had a good day. Oh, I should have my tweezers is what I should have. Y'all know a pair of tweezers is probably one of the most helpful tools when you're crafting. And I do have a pair right here in my bag. So instead of sit here and try, especially if you've got these stinking fingernails on. I love my dip nails. They're so much fun, but sometimes they do get in the way. Big time in the way. All right. So let me get this pair of tweezers in here. Now I feel like I'm doing surgery. I'm tying sutures. Pamela, you'd know about that, wouldn't you? All right, Pamela used to work in the OR. All right, so we're going to take that. So I don't really want it that tied up. There we go. Just do it like that, kind of. All right. And I'm just going to leave those hanging. And I'm going to put a glue dot there. I know y'all think, Sandy, what are you doing? But it will work, I promise. All right, so just put a glue dot right there. Okay. I forgot one other thing. We were supposed to put a dimensional behind it. That would help. So let's put a dimensional behind it. There we go. I'm really doing great demonstration here tonight. All right. You know it never goes as well on camera as it did off camera. So those are just going to hang over there. And then we're going to take the linen thread, not twine, and just tie a bow. And this is the easiest bow to tie because you're just tying a bow. Look at me. This is the easiest bow to tie and I can't tie it. I promise y'all I have no trouble when I was doing this earlier by myself. Nobody watching. Alright, so just tie your bow. Pull your hoops. This is a small bow. It doesn't need to be very big. And you wouldn't have to. You could tie a knot if you wanted to. But, you know, bows are just pretty. Alright, there we go. Take my paper snips. No, my ribbon scissors. Clip that off. And now that's going right on top of this, where that glue dot is, holding it together. So there we go. So that's why it won't move, because you've got that over the other piece, and you got a glue dot holding them both in place. Voila, as Frenchie would say. So that's the front of our card. Now for the inside, this really just comes down to decorating your panels, however you want to decorate them. So your panels, I told you, are the largest stitched grain in this one. And it can be any shape that'll fit here. Now this is just, I mean, it couldn't be any bigger than that. And you got to have 4 of them. So, and I'm assuming, I haven't tried it, but I guess you could actually do, you know, you wouldn't have to do the exact same if you didn't want to. I think it might look a little awkward, maybe, but it might look really cool depending on what you use. All right, so we're going to...
photographs.
Yeah, you could put photographs there and have a little photo pop up. So I'm just going to layer that on there. And then on this first one, I had put the butterfly on my sample. So I think that's... I'm just going to put this butterfly on that one. And it's not as big as the last one. This was the watercolor paper we did in blue. And then I just gilded it. Y'all saw me do that. And I'm going to, I just love the gilding flakes. It's a mess, but they are so much fun. Put a glue dot behind that little butterfly and just lay him on here. And then I'm going to stamp. And I'm using, most of my stamping I'm doing in Misty Moonlight just because I like the darker words than we did For You on the front. So this is the one we're going to do With Love. And you wouldn't have to put words in each of the, you know, things, obviously. But I just liked it. Let's see if I can get it halfway straight. All right, not too bad. Close up my ink pad. Now, I'm going to put, get this out of the way, Cindy, my adhesive here, because I'd never get it on the right spot on the back of this. I'd have it in the wrong place. And this one, it wouldn't matter as much because it's not moving, but these two, it would matter. And so this is just going to layer right in there. And I'm probably going to take that all the way to the edge, like that. And I want to center it top and bottom and give it a press and hold on for a second. The other thing you need to make sure when you do is you close it, it will close, which I've got enough room there for that to work. And we're done with that one. All right, what was our second one? I think it was the hydrangea head. Okay, so I used the vellum for this one. And I did try to poke my vellum up. This piece doesn't look like, it's just very light. There, some of the vellum was lighter than other. This piece turned out to be very light. And I really want this to kind of have a curve to it, even though it's going to get smushed. But I just kind of curved it out there like that. All right, and I put a dimensional right in the center of it. And you're like, what? That's going to show. And you're right, it is. All right. I didn't put the layer together yet, but that's okay. Where is... One of them had a blue spot on it. Cooper got his thumb on it. I'm not still going to show. Well, if I put it there, maybe it won't. All right, so we're just going to sit that right there in the middle, like that. And I know, so you can kind of see on the white, I don't know if y'all can tell, but on the white you can see that it's got some color. And you can see that dimensional. I totally expected that. But the way we'll cover that up then is we'll bring in some of these other little flowers. See which side is the darker. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. Come on, a little bit of glue. A little bit of glue there. And layer that on top of it. Like that. You can't tell which side is which. Oops, that was probably too much. Get my fingers out of there so I don't get them all inky, gluey. Anyway, that just gives that, having that little dimensional behind it, that gives it just a little bit of raise there in the middle, and I think it looks pretty cool. All right, I'm trying to remember if I'm in working camera, but I forget. Oops, now I got way too much that time, so we'll smush that off a little bit over here. All right, I'll put another one here. And hold it down. So you could put as many of these as you want to. Now, I didn't use this part of the stamp or the dimensional, the die cuts, but remember this little stamp right here that has just a, well, actually I did use it, I just used it differently. Where is it? Do I have it on a block? I do. It's this one. And we're going to use it on the next square. But you could stamp this on a piece of paper and cut it out with the die and then layer it on top of this also if you didn't want to use the one that looked like that. So you could make different layers with that, especially if you wanted to change colors. I also stamped the leaves and cut them out. I went ahead and stamped and cut them out ahead of time so that y'all wouldn't have to sit here and wait. Because as Tommy told me, we're already at 40 minutes. So I'm trying to hurry. Actually, and I may just not even finish because y'all can, and you don't need me to show you how to do every step. Because we don't want to run too far over time. Huh?
14.
I still didn't understand that.
7:40.
Oh, he's talking in German and expecting me to understand him. First of all, he's talking lightly, like I could actually hear him. And then he's talking in German. Y'all just don't know what I have to put up with sometimes. I'm teasing him. All right. So there's that layer. And as you notice, this time I did say I was alternating the different colors using the Seaside Spray with the Misty Moonlight. Oh, see, I told y'all. I messed up. I don't think it's too bad, but if you don't put the glue on that, you're going to mess up. And I just about really messed up. I need to put the glue over here. All right. Let me get this over here. Now it is helpful to work like in line, like do this one, this one, this one, so that you have something to line it up with, so that they're straight. If you want them straight, now you could, as part of your design, you could have them going up and down if you wanted it to be that way, but that was not part of this plan. So, and then I'm going to close it like that and press on it to make sure it's good and secured. One of my flowers just fell off. I'll have to go back and add it because, I can't have two. I have to have three. Plus, I can see the glue spot where it was. All right. So that's what the inside's going to look like. Now, ooh, that's a little crooked. Oh, that's a lot crooked. Yeah, we're going to have to fix that. It was straight. At least I thought it was straight when I put it on there, but when I went down, it obviously wasn't. See what I mean about glue not coming off? I'm going to tear up the whole dang gum card. Trying to get that twisted. I'll have to add a little more glue to it, but anyway, there we go. All right, straight now. So I'm going to just show you the other one. The other thing on the front of the other one, I had put some gold pearls, and I was going to finish that with this also. There we have the pastel pearls that come with this suite, but they're big. They're rather large. This is what they look like. I have them in a case that says pastel. See, they're pretty big, and I didn't want them that big on there. So I used the metallic pearls, and I used the gold ones because I had the gold gilding. But anyway, I added those to the centers, and I added one down there on that. And then on the inside, the other two panels, this one, I just stamped that layer I showed you in the Misty Moonlight background stamp. Then I did the swoosh over it that matches it in the Seaside Spray, stamped off once. And You Make Me Smile, and some of our flowers are down there. And then our last butterfly was cut out of the pearlized paper, which is this one here. And what I did was I stamped the butterfly, but then I took the framelit, you know, comes in one large framelit, and I just cut a small piece of cardstock, stuck it up in here in this corner, and went, you know, ran it through and cut that one out. So I didn't have to cut out the whole set. And then I cut out the layer for that one in the little filigree one, the little lacy one. And I'll put it on top with probably some glue there. And then it went here with the happy birthday. So there's your inside banner pop-up card. And I hope y'all liked it. It was a lot of fun making it. And I love this card. I think it's so pretty. And I really appreciate y'all coming, especially the ones of you that have come for the last 3 weeks now to see all the steps to making this card. It was a lot of fun. And I really enjoyed it, and I really like this card, and I hope somebody else really likes it. I have a special person for this card this month is her birthday. So thank y'all for coming. If anybody's interested in the mini retreat, the 19th and 20th, please let me know, like tomorrow, the next day, if you can, so that I can get everything ready for you. And we'd love to have you. And y'all have a great rest of your week, and I will see you next week. Bye.